Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Ray Orsini. We're here once again at IT Nation Connect 2023 at the Rose and Shingle Creek in Orlando, Florida. Joining me this time is Mr. Wes Spencer, co-founder of Empath.
Yep.
And we have Mr. Will Young, CTO of Bering McKinley. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Ray.
So, gentlemen, you guys are going to be doing some cool stuff we're going to talk about, and that's why I wanted to get together, get in the room. But first, IT Nation, your feedback, how you feeling, how you enjoying it so far, anything that pops out. We'll start with you, Wes.
It's the same thing as lots of energy, lots of fun, millions of conversations. I was just saying earlier, it's a blur now. Like, who did I even talk to? But yeah, lots of fun and definitely the highlight of the year as far as like the big marquee event, I feel like.
Yeah, I've always called IT Nation my home. This is my home event. Ever since I was an MSP, like this is the one I come to every year. I do all the other stuff. I enjoy all the other events, but IT Nation's my home.
Yeah.
What about you, Will?
It's just great to see everybody. I call it the energy boost for the end of the year. You come with so much inspiration and motivation to start new projects, finish projects, and great conversation.
Nice. Yeah. So let's start with a little bit of background. Bering McKinley. What does that have to do with the MSP space? What do you guys do at a high level?
We are a management consulting firm for MSPs. We help with the tools. We do management consulting to help with your processes and procedures. And then one of our big things is the peer groups. And we work with CEOs and service managers to help dive through the struggles of a CEO and service manager.
Nice. Wish I had those resources back when I was an MSP because I was definitely effing around and finding out. And Wes, you're also no stranger to the MSP game. You've been through a few things, but now you're at something new. What's this Empath thing?
Yeah, so Empath is exciting. I think it's something that has grown as we've talked about it. So I've got two other co-founders that we started this thing together. Alex Farling, everyone knows Alex from Lifecycle, and then Kyle Christensen from K7 Leadership and SPG and everything else he's done. And I think what a lot of it comes down to, if you boil down what Empath is most MSPs, they don't hire people from CrowdStrike or Huntress or Cisco. They bring people in from the AT&T store that love technology, know how to sell a cell phone, but have no clue what an EDR is, have no clue what business leadership looks like, no clue what an MSP even is, let alone how to scale it. And so MSPs are straddled and stuck with this challenge of how do we grow and get consistently everybody moving in the same direction, right? And if we can do that quickly, that's the goal. I mean, every MSP wants to do it, right? And yet, ironically, no MSP has that standardized from the largest PE funded down to the smallest one-person show. And so Empath is about that. It's a platform we're bringing folks into and helping them row in the same direction according to whatever role they're in. So it's exciting. We're just at the very beginnings of it, but it's fun.
That's awesome. And if anybody has ever spent any modicum of time with either Will or Wes, they don't do things by themselves, right? Wes is talking about doing stuff with Empath. Kyle Christensen, Alex Farling, team up, the power team, doing all these cool things. And Wes never keeps it to himself, neither does Will. So you guys are teaming up to do some really cool things, right? Let's start with the Cyber Insurance Bootcamp. That is happening November 30th through the 1st. What is that bootcamp, Will?
So we did this, we launched the first one in February, and it was a day and a half where we worked with MSPs, and we're talking about the insurance business, how to fill out the insurance forms, how to use it as part of your sales process, how to handle objections, and it's a really intense training and really effective.
And why is this needed, Wes? So like cyber insurance is not, it's every conversation we have still, which, Reed and Dustin love, but truth matter, we've been talking about it for a minute already. I think the first wall interview was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
So like, why do we still need this? Why do MSPs not get it yet?
Well, part of this is, going back to what we just started with, is how many more people have come into the MSP space that are in cybersecurity conversations, right? There's that, right? So even though we've been talking about it, and I've been working with Fifth Wall for over a year now, and they have 700-800 partners now, there's still thousands and thousands more. And of those partners, and even the non-partners, still not sure what cyber insurance, how to message through that. And let's also be honest too, the carriers are not doing all the right things. They're changing like crazy as well. They're making changes to their stack and what they want to see in it. They're trying to be reactive to the risk in front of them. And so MSPs are still in this whirlwind when it comes to cyber insurance of how do we message it? What do we talk about? What's happening? What are the trends? How do we help our clients align to it? From a risk perspective, why should we get involved in this? What can I say? What can I not say? I mean, it's endless. And so this bootcamp is specifically about that. What I've learned is You go to a conference and you hear a 1-hour talk on cyber insurance. You come back with a page of notes on things you want to do and think about and say, but you still have a lot of gaps. And so the idea of a boot camp, and this is what we realized the first time we did this, and I think it was an eye-opening experience for me too, is you spend a day and a half in something and people come back and they're like, that's one of the best things I've done. That's one of the most impactful things I've done in years, because now I have 4 pages of notes and I have the entire guidebook in front of me to really carry this home for my MSP. And so I think that's the exciting part, is a day and a half to dive into something deep. I think a lot of us really need that.
And I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but are they going to have takeaways? Are they going to have actionable items they can walk away with I need to do this as soon as I get back to the office?
If it were just me, no. But Alex Farling is famous for saying, Wes, don't you dare do something like this without a bunch of takeaways. That's one thing he's taught me. So yeah, we will have a bunch of takeaways, some guides and some things like that they'll actually take home with them.
I used to think it was just Marnie assigning all the homework, and I realized later Alex was a major part of that as well.
Well, I think Marnie taught Alex. Yeah, now Alex is teaching me. So
I love that, full circle. So that'll be November 30th through the 1st, the sign-up link. There is a cost to it. Will, what's the cost?
That's going to be $6.99.
And so we will have the link in the show notes here. But you guys aren't stopping there. That's not enough. You're saying, okay, we've done these boot camps. We did it in February, doing another one now. And then I think it sounds to me like you're saying stuff needs to happen year-round to continue this education. So how are you guys addressing that, Will?
So at Bering McKinley, we've always had a history of working with peer teams, and we love the peer team model, getting a community together and everybody learning and growing together. And we've been very successful with our CEOs, with our service manager, with our sales managers, and now we're starting up a new one for cybersecurity with Empath. It's going to be focused on the CIS controls, getting them implemented not just in-house, but at your clients. Hopefully we can all hold each other accountable and feel like we don't need to reinvent the wheel all individually and do it together.
So Wes, with these peer teams, why is it so important for them to do this month after month as opposed to just a boot camp or a webinar?
Yeah, so you can take an analogy from so many different areas. Take baseball. It's all sports ball to me, right? But no batter who's a great batter is going to be good at it if they just, take a swing once or twice a week, right? You really have to be consistent with it. And so not boot camps, but these peer groups they're effective for that, right? It really helps you build consistency in what you're doing. And because the large focus is CIS controls, not only do so many MSPs I talk to say, yeah, we're aware of it and we're kind of dabbling, we'd like to do more, but I think there's a couple problems that come with it. One is the starting point, the analysis paralysis. How the heck do I even get started in this thing? And what do I do to begin?
Even with that, that was one of the questions I was going to ask. There's so many frameworks that a lot of us just don't know where to start.
Right.
So you guys settled on CIS is where you're starting at. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
I love CIS personally because, first of all, I'm super invested in it, right? I'm super biased, but it's because it's so prescriptive in what it does. In other words, what I mean by that is when you talk to folks that have gone through it, they're like, man, it's got 18 controls. It's got 3 implementation groups of basically beginner, intermediate, and more advanced. And so it's a guidepost to get started. And MSPs love, and so do I, how to do this. Do this, do this, do this, do this. How often do we hear MSPs say, well, somebody just give me the guidebook and tell me what to do? I can do what I'm told to do. Right. Well, that's what CIS is. And then no offense to the CSF, the Cybersecurity Framework from NIST. It's great, but it's what we call a descriptive framework. In other words, you should do things like this, and you're left holding the bag wondering, well, what does this mean and how do I actually do that? And so CIS controls help with that, right? And so I guess I'll just finish this with saying, so that's why it needs to be through a peer group. So you get the consistency and accountability to say, I got to get this thing done because the next meeting is coming. We got to figure this out. But you also get the peer battle buddies. This is not working for me. I'm struggling with this. I'm having roadblocks against that. What are you doing to solve that? There's no better way than to do something by herds. I think that's the way evolution has built us over the years. We do everything by herds, right? And that's what this is about.
And that's the thing I love, where it's not just the education's a major component of it. Yes, we learn lots of stuff, but then we get stuck. And then with all the best laid plans, they don't always come to fruition. So bringing in an accountability group as part of the peer team, I think that's probably the magic sauce that actually gets it to the finish line, right?
Yeah, everybody gets stuck, especially with stuff like this, but being able to see, I'm not alone, this isn't just me. Everybody, see that your friends are getting stuck at the same places, where we can talk as a group, here's the challenges, here's how we can work through it, and really make sure that we're all making the progress so that we need to be.
So, I already feel like I should give you my credit card or something, because this is the first time and this is, with all the conversations I've had with all these security professionals in the industry, this is the first time I hear, okay, well, CIS is prescriptive, and this is the reason why, and CSF is descriptive, and this is the reason why. I feel like I learned something already. I'm not going to use my $6.99 yet. He's still got to give me a little bit more, but we will have the link, and the peer teams start in January.
Yes, those are going to kick off in January. It will be $3.99 a month, but we've got a show special. The first 10 people that sign up will get a $100 discount on it.
That'll be through the life of the contract, or how long is the $100 off?
The first year.
The first year, not bad.
That's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome, and I love having it's not so much what did I learn, what can I do, it's having that, Dean calls it the accountability buddy or accountability buddy or whatever, having that to go back and say, this new thing popped up, what can I do? And we have the experts from Empath, we have the accountability from BMK, and facilitating the group and actually getting it done. It sounds like a perfect marriage. So gentlemen, congratulations on this. I'm very excited to see what comes out of it. And I already know a few MSPs that are very excited about it. And if you are one of them, we will include contact information for all three, for Alex, Kyle, and Wes over at Empath. We'll include contact information for Will over at BMK, along with the sign-up links for these. And don't delay. Get that 10% off. I mean, you're talking that gives you 12 months of that 10% off. I'm not going to do the math because it's the last day of the conference, but you can do the math. And it's really good. So go check it out. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Time, my friend.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate it,
sir.
This has been another MSP Dispatch Special Report from IT Nation Connect 2023. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know how you feel. But until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
This has been a broadcast of the MSP Media Network.